Should be popping in any second here. Yes.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too. How's your day going so far?
Going well. Getting ready to open shortly, so wanted to chat a little bit before I do that. How's everything? How's the fam?
Everything's good. Everybody's doing good. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I got Cody home with me. So if you hear noise in the background, he stayed home from school today. That's just him. Don't worry about that. But
while you're saying that, let me turn down my music too. Yeah, I always jam Afro beats in here, so let me let me get my
mood. Keep that mood. I love that.
Yeah.
I was just telling the people before you came on a little bit about you, but I didn't want to give too much because I don't want to give wrong information. But I do know that you started the premier fashion week in Florida, Ankara, Miami.
Yeah, praise God.
Opened up the premier store in Hollywood, Florida, as well. So give me a little background about that.
Well, first, I want to definitely say thank you for the opportunity. Since day zero, you have been a huge support, whether I'm booking you for security or whether it's just encouraging words or attending. You and Jade have always been avid supporters, and I really, really appreciate that. The thing that I really want to make note of before we get into anything is I think a lot of people might see a lot of synergy in what it is that we do as far as advancing the culture, especially with the retail component. But I love the fact that despite all of that, you guys are, all about unity and making sure that we're just supporting each other. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'll move on from there. Let me not get, mushy on this Good Friday. So thank you. But yeah, I do the Ankara Miami African Fashion Week. Outside of the Fashion Week, we do events all year long. So it's all about just promoting the culture, promoting African fashion, African music, Africans in general, and just trying to make sure that we're seen in a more positive light. We're very positive, we're very progressive, and of course they don't show that. So my mission since 2011, since 19, whenever I was born, has been to just make sure people see the good in who we are, because that's what supersedes everything. So that's Ankara Miami, redefining African cultural trends and just taking people who aren't already familiar with African culture or, diaspora and trends to kind of step outside of the box and either learn something new or meet someone new or experience something new and just enjoy themselves while they're doing that. So that's that.
That's great. I think that's awesome, especially now with the climate being what it is, politically and otherwise. But people are now trying to find out more of their origin and where they came from and where they were with this whole 21andMe or something they do with these DNA tests and all that stuff. Luckily, I know.
Like today's actually Ghana's independence, and they've been doing the whole year of return and that whole movement for getting people to come back. So I can only appreciate that. Whatever it's going to do to get people to appreciate who we are and, what we stand for. So, yeah.
That's good. So how long have you been doing this fashion week
so event production since 2011. I won a pageant a few years ago. You guys are familiar with Miss Nigeria Florida. So at that time, there wasn't a lot for, I think, our age group, our demographic. Everything was either, our parents were going to all the association meetings and parties and things like that. And then you have like your drum circles and your festivals, which are cool, but there weren't things happening that were a little bit more modernized. So I felt like, what's one pretty easy way to get people together? We all wear clothing. So fashion show was kind of born out of just a need to create something that would be unique to my platform with the pageant. So from there, it just became, I literally was like, okay, if I'm going to do a show, I guess I got to create a ticket account, which means I have to open a bank account, which means I got to get incorporated. So that's literally how the whole thing just kind of came about. Yeah, and a lot of friends, we sat in a room, we had a little think tank about, what type of show it could be and how we could get it off the ground, especially being the first one. And at that time, it was just a show. It wasn't like an annual thing yet. So fortunately, I've always been blessed to have people around me that have been like just very passionate about what they do, and in turn that kind of lets them shine when they join my team and help me to execute just what I've been envisioning for so long. So that's That's it, 2011. And then with the pop-ups, with the retail, I started doing pop-ups in like 2014, 2015. And those go very well because people like to shop. But I wanted to just give people the access, because it's one thing to go to a fashion show. It's another thing to actually support the designers and buy the clothing and, you know, buy from these small business owners and things like that. So it's been a little minute, and by the grace of God only, I'm still around. I'm still kicking. So yeah.
Congratulations, because that's still a long time.
Thank you.
Two things that I picked up from what you said was that I didn't even know that it was just like you just said, okay, I want to do something. That what I picked up from that was you weren't afraid. You felt there was a need, and you feel that need. That's what entrepreneurs do.
My faith is huge, because some of the things I set out to do, I'm like, I have zero like full out plan on, you know, the A to Z. I just know what my Z looks like. So it's kind of like, all right, how do we make this happen? And like I said, I have the people around me that are just like, all right, let's get it. So
too many times people get stuck in their head. Oh, I want to do this, and
I do. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do. But I think, you know, it's a great mixture of the two. It's a mixture of being fearless, and it's a mixture of, you know, kind of thinking things through every once in a while, just to make sure you stay strategic. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels. So yeah, but there's a lot of faith in here, because this is not, it's not easy. You know that.
And the second thing that I got was the community. That's one thing that you said really helped you a lot. Just speak a little bit more about how your community, like, did you have like somebody that helped you with this a fashion show, or like was it your parents, or was it friends, or like sisters?
Well, guys, I should have written out a whole, if I take my time and really write out a list of everybody, I'll be talking for days. It's been like, well, my parents first and foremost, you know, just instilling that can-do type of attitude, and the, you know, put your mind to it and you'll get it done. Especially my mom, she's always been a big advocate for, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, our parents came over and wanted to give us more opportunities than they had. So she's always, you know, really pushed me to just go for what it is that I want to do. And that's been priceless. So my parents, number one. I have colleagues that I've worked with over the years, sorority sisters that have supported over the years. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start, but it is a large community. And outside of the community, like the close personal relationships, there are great working relationships that have formed, and we've been able to create, you know, more bonded relationships over the years, just because we end up supporting each other, and we, like, what we do kind of just balances each other and complements each other, so that works as well. So there's a lot. I mean, I can name sorority sisters, Denise, Sandra. They've always helped with the production and just making sure the shows go well. I've worked with Oluchi from African Elite, doing the day parties and getting promo out and making sure that, you know, our voices are heard. I've worked with Simone for years from Natural Trendsetters, our hair sponsors. Well, I mean, there are a lot of different organizations. It's been a long time. There's a lot. Say that again?
Well, I said it's good to reach out to the community, because that's how we build each other. So I just wanted you to
nobody
build you up. Because a lot of times people,
right, we're not an island. You can't do it on your own. You can't.
Somebody asked in the comments, do you have multiple locations?
No, just one for right now, but you can help me get there. Amen. No, just one location in downtown Hollywood.
What's the address so they can check it out?
It's 509 South 21st Avenue in downtown Hollywood in South Florida. I'm not sure where the person is, but we're also online too. So I definitely ship out. We have apparel, head wraps, accessories, men's, ladies, all that good stuff. And it's AnkaraDelights.com. Oh, right here. Ankara Delights. So Instagram and Facebook, as well as the website. So check it out.
Okay. And I had somebody sent in a question. It came from Top Flight 79. He said, okay, what motivated you to keep going even in the face of adversity?
What motivates me in the face of adversity? Yes?
He said, what motivated you to keep going in the face of adversity?
Oh, okay. Yeah, just faith. Like I have a greater vision for what I see happening, and I think um, outside of what I find passionate, I think it is incredible that every single time I want to quit, let me tell you, after every show, I'm like,
I've been there. I've been there.
that's it. I'm done. Every year.
I've been to the shows where you
Every
have
year.
the arguments.
It is such a labor of love. You have no idea. Every year I'm like, okay, this is too much. But I think again that support system, I have people around me that keep me so uplifted. Like if it weren't for them, I would have probably just ran back to Africa by now and just lived in the village somewhere really quiet. But yeah, they like Dejan, Vanessa, like I have people in my ear constantly that are like, you know, what's next? How do we make it happen? How do we do it? And I think that really pushes me, because then it becomes, it's not just me and, you know, internalizing my feelings. It now becomes, there are a lot of people that believe in you. And with even, you know, believing in myself, there are a lot of people that are like behind you. And that really does make a difference. So I think that's what pushes me. And this just based on experience, knowing that no matter how challenging certain times may be, things have always seemed to work out. And that's that whole faith thing. Like things have always seemed to work out. It might not always be exactly how I want it to go, but it finds its way, you know,
Work out.
it finds its way. So I think, you know, the people around me and just having the faith that it'll be okay, whatever it is.
Okay, so give us just one example of a time where you gave up. And like, how did you overcome it? Like, what was it? Was it somebody that came and spoke to you? Did you like go in the house and cry for a couple of hours? Like,
oh, crying is good. Let me tell you, don't be afraid to cry.
Hey, don't be afraid.
Because it is such a release. Otherwise, you're going to be punching walls and on the road with road rage.
You got to get it out.
You have to. I work out a lot, so that helps, you know, get some of that aggression out. But yeah, don't be afraid of a good cry. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. A challenging time, you know, there's always financial constraints with what it is that I'm doing. I do not, you know, despite whatever people might think, I do not get a lot of financial support for a lot of the events. So it is solely based on, you know, the participants engaging, attendees attending. I might get certain dollars that come in from companies that make sense as far as sponsorships and things like that. But the bulk of what I do is, you know, just me believing that one day there's going to be that pop off, and just knowing that, you know, I'm not just doing it for myself. Like, I feel like there's been a platform created for not just me and, you know, the success of Ankara Miami and Ankara Delights, but designers who might not have ever had the opportunity to showcase in Miami, because, you know, we're not always given that attention. Makeup artists, hairstylists, creatives that deal with merchandising and styling, like just giving the opportunity for people to really enjoy what it is that they do, and let their talent shine. And then on the flip end, letting attendees have that direct access to what I feel is, you know, a piece of them. Like whether or not, you know, you're from Haiti, Jamaica, Atlanta, wherever, there's a piece of you back home in Africa, and I think we're able to connect people and give them that experience authentically. So yeah, I can't give a specific one because there's many of them, but that's probably one of the main ones, just the financial constraints of what it is that I do. You gotta put up money to put out these type of events, and I really try to do things on a quality type of level. So because again, I'm telling people, you know, we're progressive and we're, you know, we do things at a certain level of excellence. So, you know, I can't just put out,
okay,
I just can't put out nonsense, you know. So just staying consistent with that has been a challenge, but it's fun.
That's good. The one thing I can attest to is that you do put the platform for everybody, because I've myself vended at your event. I know you said we have some of the similar stuff, but I'm all about community, and the fact that you always invite me to come and be a vendor at your events just shows that you're building a platform not just for yourself, but to bring everybody together and put it where everybody can come and win. So my next question is, what is your biggest accomplishment or biggest lesson that you've learned by doing this?
What is my biggest accomplishment and what else?
You can either say what's your biggest accomplishment up to date, or what's the biggest lesson you've learned thus far?
Biggest accomplishment is I think the catalyst, the thing that kind of changed the trajectory of what I'm doing was when we first partnered with Macy's. And I think that because initially when the show first started, it was a one-day event, and then it eventually became a two-day event when we worked with them, where we did like a preview event at Macy's, and then the next day was my show. Then the next year was when the Fashion Week popped off, and that became a 4-day. So I think that piece is what kind of expanded my mind to kind of say, okay, it might be daunting, it might be a big task, but you know, if you really plan it out and
it'll give you proof of concept.
Just find, yeah, like if you just find a way, make it happen. It can happen. So it went from 1 day to 4 days, and I think that's a big thing because 2015 we were actually officially named Florida's premier African Fashion Week. So when I say that, I don't just say that out of, you know,
I know,
just saying it, like it's a real thing, like it's, you know, it's documented somewhere. That's dope. So, so I think that's a really big accomplishment, being able to create the first African Fashion Week here in South Florida. And then as far as lessons learned, I think one of the big things, just being, you know, a woman that feels like I can do it all and all that crap. I think learning that you have to be able to ask for help. Like I always talk about this support system I have. And sometimes I feel, I'm getting real personal with you, but sometimes I feel, you know, I don't want to keep pulling on people, but you have people around you that are like, listen, how can I help? Or what can I do? Or where can I fit in? And you have to be able to ask for that. And a lot of times in the past, like I had to really just kind of get over myself and, you know, give people the opportunity to give me their response instead of just thinking, oh, they won't want to do it, or, oh, you know, they won't have the time. No, ask. If they say no, then cool. At least you know they asked. And that took somebody like kind of low-key cussing me out, because she's like, listen, you got to give me the opportunity to say yes or no.
Yeah,
I've had that happen a couple times. So I've learned my lesson.
I thought it was just me and my ego. I don't want to ask people for help, but
that's the thing. That's the thing. You want to be this big, strong, whatever. Nah, like I said, you can't do it all on your own. You cannot. So I've just learned to ask. If the person says no, I've heard no plenty of times. Exactly. So it's just another no until the next yes. So that's that. I think that's my biggest lesson. Like, ask.
Okay. How do you cope with stress? Now that you're the biggest or the premier Fashion Week in Florida, that has to come with some stress. How do you cope with it?
Music. I have my music on all day. From the time I wake up to when I go to sleep, I have music on. I just try to kind of take my mind out of whatever that space is that I'm in. And then, like I said, I work out a lot. So that's usually my time in the morning to kind of try to think about nothing other than, you know, what's playing in my ears.
I saw you did some running this week.
Huh?
I said I saw you did a lot of running this week.
Yeah. I try to at least do that, you know, healthy hearts, especially with our demographic. You got to make sure you take care of yourself for later. But yeah, working out, and then also also having a couple of people, you know, you don't give your business to everyone, but I do have a couple of like trusted people that I can, you know, share things with and vent to without judgment, if I'm looking for advice, they give it. If I'm not, they don't. So having that, I think is a blessing, having that outlet as well, to just kind of let off some steam every once in a while. So those two things.
That's good. That's good. What is your 5-year plan?
I can't tell you that. No, my 5-year plan.
Give me the shorter version. That's okay for the public.
The shorter version. So because somebody asked about multiple locations, I don't know about having multiple spots. I'd like to have a bigger spot. I'd like to be able to carry more things, more ready to wear, furniture, whatever that looks like. Kind of imagine going into like a Ross or something like that, where you see the different departments of things. So something like that, where the store just expands. So not necessarily expanding in the sense of, you know, multiple locations. And then with the show, I would love, I don't know if you remember back in the day when they used to do Rip the Runway on TV. I don't see it anymore, but I would love to be like the African version of that, where there's something actually televised. Because you don't really see it, you know. There's a lot of shows on the continent and even here, like New York and LA, but you don't actually see it televised. And I think that would be really dope. And I know the team that I work with, like MD Simmons Productions, Natural Trendsetters, the Fashionistas, even Sandra Dejan, like I know my team can handle it. I just need somebody to be like, hey, what's up? Are you free on such and such day? Yep, we're free. We can do it. So I think that would be two things that would be like absolutely major, having, you know, a huge retail location, and then also having something that's televised.
That's
would be awesome.
I mean, you build your platform large enough, you could probably do that yourself.
Yeah, if I don't run out of steam first, man.
Hey, just take that leap. Hey, don't think about it. Just take the leap. Just jump.
Woo, Lord have mercy. Hi, Jade. I'm not paying attention to the comments. I'm trying to, but sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but hey.
Hi, Jade. Hi, Royal Coils, one of our sponsors for the event. I don't know who else I saw in there. Oluchi, I know I saw her.
Yeah. Got Be a Great Dad in there.
That's Brandon, right? Hi.
Yeah, Brandon. Got
hi, guys. Forgive me.
All right, so now we're going to get into the lightning round. So just the first answer that comes to your mind. Don't have to think about it too long. Just real quick. What book are you reading right now?
It's actually a set of affirmations. So I'm trying to get more into that. You know, positive thinking and all of that. I've always been like an optimist, but I think being very intentional about what you say when you wake up in the morning and kind of taking that first couple of minutes to yourself. I don't think she's in here, but there is a young woman named Rochelle that she's a happiness coach. Like, go figure, right? Like, you can create your own space in this world. But she's a happiness coach, and one of the things, like, I don't know why it stayed with me. She posted one day, and it was just like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, think about what your day looks like and what you're letting in first. And sometimes I wake up, grab my phone, and start getting into the nonsense of, you know, Instagram or who's texting me what they need, and it already sets you up for the day and like this, you know, agitated mode of, I got things to do. Yeah. So now I kind of take time and just read a couple of lines, set my intentions, and just try to be more peaceful throughout the day. So dang, this is lightning, right? My bad. Sorry, I'll keep it short.
It's all right. What's the first thing you do in the morning? So I guess you kind of answered that one. That was the next question.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What is your favorite app?
Thank the Lord for waking me up.
Yeah. What's your favorite app? My
favorite
app that you use.
Square. When payments are coming in, when money's coming in. Instagram. Instagram is fun.
Okay. What mistakes would you give an aspiring entrepreneur to avoid? Like, what should they be looking out for?
What mistakes? I don't know. Stay professional as much as you can. There are going to be things that, you know, attack you from all sides. Just keep your cool. Not everybody has your best intention at heart. So just stay professional. What's yours is yours.
That's cool. And the last one is, do you have any tips for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Tips? Yeah, just do it.
There you go.
Just do it. Like I said, you know, when I started, it just kind of came about. There wasn't a big drawn out thing about it. And I still have a lot of things that I want to get off of my vision boards, but I think it's just a matter of doing it, like taking it one day at a time. Everything doesn't come immediately. I've definitely learned that, but stay the course, stay consistent. Like I've always just talked about trying to make sure I at least stay consistent. So keep it up. Whatever is going to be yours will be yours.
Exactly. So before we get ready to go, that's the end of the interview. Let everybody know where your store is one more time, and as well as when is this fashion week so we can all get decked out. You know, I like to get decked out. and get ready to come out.
Yeah, that's one thing about the show. Let me say this. That red carpet is like no other down here. I kind of float around the room during the fashion weeks and just watch people arrive. And there's this like glow, you know what I mean? Like people are in their attire. They're just, I don't even know how to explain that. And I haven't been to anything like that down here. It's just, there's this sense of pride. There's this sense of like excitement. What are they about to see on the runway? But the runway sometimes is the damn step and repeat because they come dressed. So speaking of coming dressed, if you're looking for something to wear on Ankara Delights, we are at 509 South 21st Avenue in downtown Hollywood, a couple streets down from Hollywood Boulevard. So pretty easy to find right off of West Dixie Highway and the train tracks. And we have ladies, men's, swimwear. Spring break is coming up. What else? Head wraps for our ladies and our gents. I've had a few guys buy head wraps as well. And just little knickknacks and gift items for your favorite guy, for your favorite girl. So you can stop by the store, open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then online as well at AnkaraDelights.com. This Sunday, we're having a sip and shop just to get people ready. There are a lot of things coming up between Fashion Week, Jazz in the Gardens. I know Diaspora, Miami, and African Elite are having their For the Culture Fest next weekend. So a few things coming up if you're looking for African attire to represent outside of Black History Month. Stop by, check us out.
Hey, I definitely have been to your store and copped a few items myself, so definitely check it out.
Yes, you have, and Miss Jade, and I appreciate y'all. So yeah, come by Sunday. I'll have a lot of new items out. That's what I'll be working on the rest of the weekend. And Ankara Miami, March 26th through 29th. It is going to be at, the main show will be at Area 21 in Miami, and then Friday and Sunday will be at 1310 Gallery in Fort Lauderdale. But just a good opportunity to, you know, connect with some of us, represent who we are, show you some beautiful fashion, and then have you have the opportunity to shop that Sunday. Sunday's the free event, so check out AnkaraMiamiWeek.com or Ankara Miami on Instagram. And I just saw a question. Yes, I have up to 2 and 3X, so stop by, gents as well. I definitely have menswear. I know a lot of people think it's only ladies. I definitely have menswear, so stop by and check us out. But I think that's pretty much it. I can get really long-winded, huh?
No, you did perfect. You did perfect. I told you 20, 30 minutes. We hit 30 minutes right now. You did. So thank you for joining. I thank you for everybody that tuned in and watched. Make sure you check out Evelyn's store, Ankara Delights, and also make sure you guys hit up Fashion Week that she's going to be having coming, I think, about 2 weeks from now, right? About 2 weeks? Quick. All right. So
real quick, yes, I do have some 5Xs, so check me out. And then Ankara is the fabric. Look it up. Bye, guys.
Yeah, it's the type of fabric. Like Kente, Ankara is another type. Ankara. Peace.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. How do I end it? Oh, there it goes.